Hey, what's up, guys? We got some sparring footage from Open Mat on Saturday. I'm here with Coach Billy first off. Coach Billy's really good at managing distance and pressure passing on the knees. So as I keep trying to make these grips to get closer, I'm trying to do a reverse triangle right here. But as I keep trying to do these grips to get closer, he's good at framing on me and then only advancing forward when he has a dominant position. It's very annoying to deal with. Both just hand fighting, moving through the motions. I do this little get up from butterfly like that in hopes that people will try to drive into me and like overcommit to a bad position. I ended up picking up close guard here. Just trying to build to an elbow, do the Kimura hip bump, but he's framing really well on my body, keeping me down. Now I'm trying to break the posture and walk the legs up. It's usually step one on arm bars or rubber guard. Break the posture, walk the legs up the body. I've got my leg pretty high here, but he's still framing really well. I lift my leg up. I was about to start doing rubber guard here, but I didn't swap my grip over. And he framed well and he escaped because I messed up. I grabbed the leg and I entered K guard. We roll all the way through. I lock up both legs here. I do this a lot looking for heel hooks on people because it's hard for them to turn when I lock both legs. And we just end up on top here. Billy turtles. Looking for an arm in guillotine maybe. Trying to switch to the back and I didn't shove my knee in that gap, so he grabs a single. I'm sprawling, laces down. Looking for maybe my Peruvian necktie that I do to people. He sits back to guard and he got a leg in, so he got half guard. He gets an underhook here. I'm gonna put my chest over his wrist and try to back up to fight my own underhook. I don't want to just reach. I want to try to back down to do it. And I couldn't, so I just decided to get up and he got the deep half because I stepped my foot up. Very good transition. He starts coming out the back door in this deep half sweep. I'm looking to fight for this underhook as he passes my leg over his head. That's why we're stagnant there. Now we're back to regular half, come off screen a little bit. Gentleman in blue blocking our view. He's doing a deep half, looking like he's gonna go deep half X. So it's going 50-50. I tried to do a back roll and I missed his legs. I didn't lock his leg. I didn't shelf his leg on my thighs there, so trying to do that forward roll to take the back didn't work. Looking for my overhook, looking to stand up here and do my flying triangle. He gets wise to it and sits back into half guard. Now I'm trying to, I got the pass here, lock the elbow. Yeah, there's the first submission of the day. If you guys noticed, I didn't grab my hands together. I like to make a fist when I dig under the arm on that straight arm bar, and I lift my fist up to my chest just for pressure, and then I just straighten their wrist with my other arm. Back here in butterfly guard. Try to do push, a little knee tap, and he moved his shoulder out of the way as I went for it. Still looking for underhooks, still looking for arm drags. And again, Professor Billy is very difficult to set any of that stuff up on. He manages distance very, very well. Try to do the G roll in half guard and it fails. Again, looking for 2-on-1s. End up in close guard again. Again, I'm walking the leg up. I play rubber guard on the other side. I don't know why I'm trying to do it on this side today. Maybe that was my mistake. I'll have to reassess. I didn't fully grab the initial mission control before I started digging for arms here. Again, I skipped a step in a system I don't do very often, and it failed because of it. It was a good round with Professor Bailey to warm up. Fast forwarding here to the next round. Got one of the gentlemen from HQ, Blue Belt, or that I spar with at HQ, for Ohana. Shout out to Ohana again. He is trying to over-underpass me right now. And this is, I pinned my elbow to my belly button, and then I bumped for the underhook on the leg. Bump right there, grab the leg, pull it in. My heel hooks his heel, and now I can try to wrestle up. He drives into me, which is really good. So I gable the shoulder, foot on the hip, foot over the head. And now here I'm going for an elbow deep arm crush grip that I like to do. When people hide their arm, boom, there it is. But again, that came from that elbow to belly button, knee bump to underhook position. As they're passing, elbow to my belly button. I bumped them with my knee forward so that I have room for my underhook. In this scenario, I grabbed his leg and pulled it forward. And then I would have wrestled up, but he drove into me, so I just decided to attack the arm. Again, we're here in this reverse de la Hiva, high half guard position. Ooh, this is cool. I do overhook, heavy knee shield, frame away. And then while I'm framing, I keep framing away and throw my leg over the body. Here's omoplata. Here's armbar. He does a good job getting out right here, spinning underneath. I think this is where I do the figure 4 lock on the far arm and throw my body onto it for the armbar. Yep, there it is. So when someone's taking your back and they have one of their arms really deep, you grab basically a Kimura lock on it and you straight armbar it. Right here, I'm trying to do that little shallow lasso for retention, making sure he doesn't get inside my hip there. I'm pummeling my foot from the outside to the inside until I can get my knee shield in. He's doing a good job keeping his weight forward on me, so I have to hold it at all times. Pinning my wrist. Didn't like that grip. Dig under the leg, pull my knee to my hands. I'm S-gripping here. You can S-grip or gable grip. He's trying to block the knee. He's doing a good job. Trying to get my knee past his hip. That's the trick here. Pull your knee past their hip to roll through. And now you can enter leg locks, and here I am on the knee bar. Going slow, get the tap. Half guard, S-grip or gable grip under the leg. As I pull my knee shield all the way across the body, past their hip. My knee needs to pass their hip. I can pull the leg to my chest, and then I can catch that leg entry for whatever I'm going to go for, knee bars or heel hooks or ankle locks. Playing a little de la Hiva. I think I entered it a couple times today, never did anything with it. I think I jumped on a Kimura grip because he wrapped my legs. Kimura grip. Stomp, placing my foot on the floor so I keep posting out with my right foot to bridge him over the top. Maybe triangle, maybe armbar, maybe back take. Ooh, I get none of them. He breaks out. We scramble the turtle. I'm on the neck here. Gable grip. I use my head to block the arm on the outside, and I replace it with my thigh, and I jump in the arm and guillotine. I catch the tap. Gable grip. Pull the arm across with the gable. Pin it with my head, and then replace my head with my legs, and throw my leg over for the choke. Right here, again, he passed with my elbow to the belly button, and I bumped him into an underhook. I caught the heel, and this time I am going to wrestle up, I think. Yes, I am, very slowly and lazily. He went to pass, elbow to belly button. That's from that video, that little bait and switch video, trap video. Doing a knee cut position. I'm just trying to lean on him and hold his wrist there so he can't dig that underhook. But I can't dig it either. Just cross face and I have that wrist. See how I'm messing with his wrist with my right arm? He's trying to get the turtle because he doesn't like this position. I'm not being mean and cross facing his nose. I'm trying to be under his chin or over the forehead. Because we're friends. Dig under the far arm and grab it. So now we're in turtle and I have a grip on that far forearm. Just trying to decide what I want to do here. Little power half Nelson grip. Nope. He's wise to that. Trying to do a Kimura, crucifix, not a Kimura. A crucifix setup. I pull the arm out and try to go for crucifix. He defends it well. Still in turtle. Thinking about that arm and guillotine again. I roll for the anaconda. Trap his arm with my leg. He posts the leg. Very, very smart post on the leg. So it failed. I needed to pull his arm down with my leg and then adjust my grip to the anaconda choke. I go to the Darce choke. Gable grip. Drop him on his side. Now there's my Darce. I always Gable grip and drop people onto their shoulder before attempting the actual choke, and then I shoot bicep deep while they're falling. When people are falling, they can't defend. It was a very good round with him. Now we got this fine gentleman here, again in this half guard, reverse de la Hiva or position. I dug an underhook, but I was lazy. I didn't connect my ear to his chest. So he backed up and won his own underhook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that ghost escape position when they knee cut. There's my ghost arm. He knee cuts. Boom. I bump him before he settles. Grabs the neck. I could have ghost escaped all the way, but I love my Darce chokes. Just walking and slow squeezing. Grabbing his leg, hipping in. There's the tap. Guys, he won the underhook and went for the knee cut. And I just chose my other arm to go in front of his body as an underhook on the other side. So as he finished the knee cut, I was already in my ghost escape. And then I like doing ghost escape to Darce's because genetics favored me with long arms. You gotta play to your skill set. If you're a bigger guy, get good at pressure passing. If you're a smaller guy, get flexible. Make your guard impassable. If you're long like me, use those limbs. Triangle chokes, Darce chokes. And we're on top here. Oh, guys, Kimura, power Kimura. We fell off camera here. I promise I did the power Kimura, and we ended up resetting because I got the tap there. Remember that power Kimura from one of the first videos I posted. I fall to the side they're facing, and I throw my foot on their hip, and my knee goes to their bicep, and it helps me just rip that arm out with little strength used. Here again in this knee shield position. See, I'm just extending my underhook up like that. That's a terrible habit. He sits back on an ankle lock, and we come off camera. And I think I take us back and get the rear naked choke, and we reset. But yeah, it's a terrible habit to have, to just extend your arm because they left it open for the underhook. You need to throw your entire ear into their hip and into their chest. You can't just extend your arm and be like, I have an underhook. That's not a true underhook. Laying on your back, lifting your arm up, it's not realistic. It's lazy jiu-jitsu for me. It's bad habits. He falls back into single leg X, and I push the foot off. He goes and knock me over, and I start this passing sequence. Basic half guard pass, pummel the foot over, walk the arm up, hidden arm choke, drop into the side. I was trying to take his back right here, but I felt like he was slipping a little bit. Step back over into mount again. He goes double under escape, so I fire into my Barata Plata setup. I'm aware that I haven't shown this, but this is a cool setup. As they're reaching their arm under your body, you dig your arm from the outside of their elbow to the inside, and you grab your own thigh and throw your leg over their neck, and you can stomp on the hip and finish a Barata Plata on that double underhooks and bottom mount escape. Very good round. Fast forwarding again between the rounds. I roll with this gentleman. We rolled off out of camera view quite a bit. Got De La Hiva long hook, little berimbolo. I just ended up getting up because the back take wasn't realistic there. Underhook knee cut position. Pass the guard. Now we're here. I'll do this a lot. I'll basically bring my hand or my leg up to people's like chest and neck area because it'll make them push on my hand or my knee and not my face, and it allows me to get a good position. Thinking about doing a scorpion lock here or a shallow armbar and I miss it, but I end up in knee on belly. Go to my little stoner mount or butterfly mount, where I have butterfly hooks in his thighs, but I'm in mount. He turns, so I go for the gift wrap to the back, and then he rolls up into the triangle with his hands connected. So I push his elbow through a little bit with my hand under his arm, and I Barada Plata him just like I did the last guy, just because it was fresh in my head. There's a Barada Plata. Foot on the hip, he taps. He had his hands connected, so I push his hands deeper between my legs so that only the chicken wing of his elbow is sticking out, basically. And I throw a leg over the head, and oh, this is a good example. I failed the elbow to belly thing here. I bumped him into north-south. I can't allow him to go all the way to north-south because now I had the turtle, so he didn't collect the pass points. When you do that elbow to belly button bump so that you win the underhook, you can't let him go to north-south. That's a good counter to it. He's got my chin here. I do this thing where when people take my chin, I roll to my back because it's very hard to finish. I'll roll to my stomach and then my back and then my stomach and my back. It's like a little alligator rotation to help myself get out of guillotines. And we end up rolling off camera here for quite a while. So I'm going to fast forward through this part. But yeah, when people grab my neck, I like to roll my shoulders to my back. I reset back in camera. I don't know if we rolled off the mat or what. He's in this knee cut position. Kind of in De La Hiva again. He grabbed a toe hold and I decided to kick him in the ribs gently to relieve the toe hold. He's back on that guillotine again, so I take my head from one side to the other and then I gator roll out. And then we end up resetting again back in the middle. Again, we're back here in this half guard, knee shield position. And the timer goes off. Another round here. Got a little butterfly hook going on. He's in headquarters. Trying to butterfly sweep him. Didn't trap the arm. We end up in closed guard. And now he tucked his elbow on the side while I had an underhook, so I just rolled him over. Messing with the choke. He defends the choke, which allows me to slide up to S mount. But he kept his elbow tucked. That was good. I could roll him up onto his side and force the triangle here. I ended up not being able to, so I ended up coming back down into mount. Fast forward the off-camera stuff a little bit, and then you can see me finish a truck roll. And then I figure forward his leg and rolled from mount, and then lock in the rear naked choke. And then I turn to the side and dig my heels in and hips in, and there's the finish. I'm trying to go to mount, and he trapped my foot, so I figure forward my legs and hooked his ankle, and I did a forward roll. Took the back, locked in a rear naked choke early, hipped in, and there we go. Again, elbow and knee discipline here. Elbow pinned to my stomach, and my knee and my shin and my thigh are protecting it. Trying to go for the back, and maybe an arm crush on the far side here. But it doesn't work out. He decides to sit back. Headquarters position, maybe pommel. Yeah, I did a big leg kick, and then we end up off camera, so we're going to fast forward here until we recenter. I end up with that rear naked choke again, and turning to the side to finish it. Rotating my body. I think he asked me here in the middle of the roll what I was doing. He's talking about getting the choke locked in and turning my body, my torso, in that direction. It's a small movement from the third person's point of view, but if you know you're doing it, it makes a lot of sense. Try to pull him into leg locks and it fails. He jumps into my closed guard. I would very much so avoid keeping your hands off of people's neck in closed guard, because you can get rolled like this or submitted very easily. Closed guard's a position to escape in. Start going to S mount because his elbow was really low. Now the elbow is high. I end up in this Tarika Plata position as he came up on top. Squeezed my legs together for the finish. And the timer went off. Oh no, never mind. We're still going. Try to drag him into camera angle. Sit back on an ankle lock. Haven't been doing ankle locks lately. I need to get back into it. Trying to go foot on the hip and he's not letting me. So I switch and I go reverse single leg X. So instead of having a butterfly hook on the inside and then my outside leg goes to the hip, I switch what my legs are doing. My outside leg becomes a butterfly grip and my inside leg gets what goes over the top and goes foot on the hip. Fast forward. Anyway, we have another tall tree gifted gentleman here like myself. Very long limbed. I don't fight very many tall people. Usually I fight bigger guys that are just strong and stout. It feels different rolling with someone with long limbs. I know how you guys feel now. It feels terrible. Overhook. Let him have the underhook. I overhook, heavy knee shield, throw the leg over the top. Second time I've hit this today. As they reach for an underhook, I take an overhook from bottom half guard and I use a heavy knee shield. And I extend so I make room, and then I throw my leg over their body. Now I'm here on this omoplata attack, looking for triangles, maybe a Kimura, maybe omoplata, and he ends up turning a little too much, and I catch his head in the triangle. Now it's just a matter of how am I going to finish the triangle or the arm bar. There's the arm, there's the hand on the neck, there's the arm crush. Again, that was a low knee shield. I let him have the underhook. I take a heavy, deep overhook and I extend away and then I throw my leg over his shoulders for the attack. It's one of the things I do is I bait and switch. That wasn't in the video, but there are plenty of bait and switch things that I do. That's one of them. Let them have the underhook. Take the overhook. Heavy extension away with your knee shield and then throw the leg over the shoulders for the attack. This is a good sequence right here. I throw an underhook really lazy and he locks up a darce. But I don't like locking up darces from here because, and this is why, is people can base their shoulders out wide. See how my elbow and I'm blocking his hips and my arms are wide here? Kind of open my arms, open my neck. Stay open, blocking his hips, don't let him hook onto my body with his legs. Maybe I mess with the elbow. He tried rolling up here. And I framed his hip again and got away. Fall on a heel hook here from this double outside offshoot position. But I didn't expose the heel very well and didn't want to swap to the ankle lock, so I ended up getting my back chased here. Pulls the leg out, he throws the hook in, throws the second hook in. Immediately both my hands are gripping his choking arm, relieving it, pushing it from my body. As I turn from the back escape, he tries to throw in an arm bar or a triangle. Block his legs and crush going forward. Now he turtles up here. He ends up falling into bottom side control. Always stay tight on people in turtle because you don't want them to give them space to pull back to guard and get their legs back. Now here it is again. He locks a quarter guard, so I figure four my legs, and then I do a forward roll for the truck position. Right here, I'm trying to do a crotch ripper, but he's so tall. Oh my gosh, I don't like this view. It looked painful. I bail on it and I end up on top again. I should have just taken the back, but I was greedy. Now we have a mounted position of going for arm bars and stuff, and then he ends up exposing his back here. Leg over the shoulder. Maybe go for the choke, make him defend it. He defends it, so I end up getting the arm extension. Almost always, when I'm on the back, I try to trap people's limb. I either go for the rear naked choke right away, or I try to trap the limb to isolate. A little octopus guard position, build to my elbow, hook behind his foot. And now, because he sat back, it gave me the regular underhook and I can wrestle on him easily. If he wouldn't have sat back there, I would have driven forward and tried to take his back. So that was smart of him. You don't see that reaction very often. People knowing that they're going to get a really bad position happen, so you give up a little bit so that they don't take a lot. Did a little left-right knee cut position here. Got him in turtle. He moved. See, I'm trying to grab the Kimura, foot on the hip, knee in the bicep. He's doing a really good job pinning my far leg here, so I'm having trouble doing the knee in the bicep part. But I have the Kimura, I have the foot in the hip. And I'm starting to free my leg a little bit now. He's doing a really good job keeping it pinned. Yeah, there it goes. Yep, as my knee freed itself, so did the grip. I didn't want to just stomp. I wanted to get that full position. Right here, I'm teaching him how I do my Darce chokes. I Darce choke when you have long legs. You can Darce choke and pull people into close guard when you're tall like us. And then throw your leg over the shoulder if the Darce fails and you have a triangle. So you go Darce, you sit back, pull him into close guard and squeeze. And if your grip slips, you can allow the triangle to happen. So I have him do it. He goes Darce, he sits back into close guard, throws the leg over the head, and there's the triangle. Yeah. I like to give people my little 2 cents whenever they fail a technique on me. And now I said you can do the same thing with arm in guillotine. Arm in, stand up, fall to close guard, and then finish it. And if they defend with that hand, now I foot on the hip, leg over the shoulder, there's the triangle. Same principle. It's an arm in choke, and I pull to close guard, and then transition to a triangle. It's a very good sequence. Got another round here with the gentleman. A little half round, I guess, because I was teaching a little bit. A little half round with the gentleman that I rolled off camera a bunch with. Tried to do a little far side knee wrestle up tap, but I didn't commit. I think here I hooked his leg and brought it to me and then just pulled his knees together. Trying to keep my head high because he obviously likes those guillotines. I think I might end up off camera here. He's got a little waiter position. I don't know if he saw it or not. He dabs in the ankle, but I'm long so I can reach and grab the neck and pull myself to him and extend my leg out for the pass. That's why I don't like double outside ashi when the opponent's standing, personally. I don't like getting crushed like this. He does a good job framing, but he bridged onto his side too much, so I pivot into back control. Look at this foot on the hip, trap the arm. And now I can either go for the choke or go for the triangle or the arm bar. But I always go foot on the hip, push him down, trap the arm. And then here we just scrambled for a long period of time, and it was kind of off camera, so I fast forwarded through it. Neither of us really got anywhere with it. And then, boy, I really don't know how to stay in camera, do I? Still scrambling, doing stuff off camera. Finally, we end up back in camera angle here. He's already reaching for that neck again. See, my elbow is pinned to my stomach there. Tried to do a little octopus backwards roll, but I, again, didn't commit to it. I knew what I needed to do. I just didn't backwards roll. But I do the octopus thigh grip to get up to close guard, and then the round comes to a closure. Watch a lot of Craig Jones, copy the way he scrambles with people. It's pretty effective doing that octopus guard stuff for retention, and it's just not a familiar position for some people, so. All right, we got another roll here. I end up trying to baseball choke him and he ends up falling back. I don't want to get armbarred here, so I have to be careful. I fall back on a lazy armbar. But I think, yeah, I do end up getting it. Elbow to stomach, turn the corner, elevate, and it's really slippery. I'm a very large, sweaty individual. Ooh, this is cool. Yeah, so I talked to him about this. When you're in north-south, if you frame on someone's hips as the bottom person, finish with a little Americana lock there. If you finish north-south and you're like high on their body, I'm trying to show them right here that you can get backwards rolled and you get your back taken or arm barred like that, like I did there. So you have to pin their hips with your shoulders. I'm gonna have him do it to me real quick. So I'm here. See, now I'm showing him to pin my hips with his shoulder, because if he gets, yeah, there it is, very good. Because as the bottom guy, I'm gonna frame on their hips and push them up. And if you're flexible, you can just invert once they're high like this. Now you can just invert and take the back, or he'll hook that arm like I have it hooked right there. Finish that roll. Again, occasionally just trying to throw little tips and pointers out there when people obviously missed something that could have saved them. He starts passing here inside control. I did elbow to the neck. Elevated my elbow to the sky for a good shrimp. And then he ends up passing again on the other side. I have his neck wrapped here in this like arm in position. And I shelved him on my thigh for the finish. He leaned a little too far, so I was able to wrap his neck. So he injured like a far side casa here. Which personally I'm not a fan of, because I'm quite adept at ghost escapes, which is I think what I end up doing here. See, I grab his neck and I bridge him back, and then I would pull him back on top, and then I transition to my Darce choke. It's kind of like he put himself in a ghost escape by allowing me to have that space with my near side arm. I grab a Kimura. I could go to the power Kimura position, but there is a big size difference between us, so I don't really need power in this roll to help me finish. So I end up sitting back, looking for maybe a triangle, maybe an armbar, maybe a Kimura, like traditional. There's the triangle. And I catch the arm on the neck and I arm crush. I do that one a lot. I get into the triangle, and then the arm that people have trapped inside the triangle, I place their wrist on my neck, and then I arm crush their arm, and I use my legs to finish. There it is again. Elbow, stomach bump, underhook, and it failed because I didn't catch his foot. Remember how the last step of that? Good. He drove my hips down that time from north-south. Remember, I can't let people go to north-south when they, when I do that elbow underhook bump. It's a good counter to it. As people on bottom are winning an underhook, as the top guy, just go to north-south. He's trying to do a north-south choke here. I try to do what's called the south-north choke, and it fails. Karl Pravik is the one who does that south-north choke, the Silver Fox himself. He's setting up an Americana. I extend my arm overhead in hopes that he was just gonna go to mount with it. And he starts locking up a Kimura here. And he's back into this case at Katami position. I don't like this position too much myself because it's slippery, it's no-gi, and I'm tall. So long people can do stuff like this. Trapped his forearm in the crucifix. And then I finish the choke. That Kesa position is a hard position to control in no-gi unless you're a real big guy. So you have a bunch of weight on your side. Coming to this next round here. We have knee pads, gentlemen. Trying to be disciplined with that elbow-knee connection. There's that lazy underhook again. See how I shot the underhook and just didn't get to my elbow, and I just didn't build my ear to his stomach, so he ended up flattening me out, and I had to do something else to finish that pass. Fast forward a little bit here. Here it is again. He traps my foot. I figure 4 my legs. I hook his shin, and I forward roll for this truck position. Trying to do a little calf crush. Just trying to go slowly. Kicking my arms. Didn't want to hurt him. Trap the foot to his butt. Looking for the banana splits now. It's not working. He's controlling his own leg, so I end up opting to finish the back take. But again, that came from quarter mount. I let him trap my foot like I'm going to mount. I figure 4 my legs and I shoulder roll for the back or for the truck position, which you can then transition to the back. So we're on the back here looking for the arm trap, foot on the hip, trap the arm, attacking the arm. It's not quite right for the arm bar, not quite right for the triangle. Try the arm bar, he slips his arm out again, so I have the only option, which is wrist lock. Yeah. It's an unfortunate position to be in a triangle and get wrist locked. But just know that I tried to do the triangle, it failed, so I slide back. Tried to do the arm bar, it failed, so I slide back. I keep sliding to the end of that limb there for that submission. Passing here in this little knee shield. You see I had a good knee shield there. And the second I go to pass, as I break open his half guard knee shield, he kicks away. It's smart. We end up rolling off camera. So I'm fast forwarding a little bit till we reset. Acting like I'm just going to pull him into a leg lock here. He leaned too far, so I end up in close guard. I shoot up a lazy triangle, and it fails, so he sits back on an ankle lock. Again, in double outside here. And I believe the round comes to an end. I did 2 of those rolling back takes there though. Figure 4 the legs. Once they trapped my foot when I was in mount. I believe last gentleman here, last roll of the day. Obviously playing this half guard knee shield position today. He's in octopus guard, and I showed him something from here, so I was hoping he did it, and he did. He put his lower knee on my thigh to free his foot. Such a strong position, so annoying. But I'm very glad that he's able to pick up some things I've showed him. It's always good. My last coach used to say, teaching snakes to bite you. And that really is what it is, making everyone else better to the point where you end up losing. We're here in Queso, and see, he's a larger gentleman, so it's okay that he's here, but he messes up this chest compression neck crank position. I'm okay with people doing it, but you gotta get to that position, and he messed it up, so I end up showing him afterwards. What he needs to do is crown my head with his grip and then lean more on my center chest, not so high on my neck here. He ends up getting rolled because he's too high. And then I end up pulling him into a back take. And then I end up on that rear naked choke position. Drawing that elbow behind my back. Finishing the rear naked choke. Hips in. I believe here I'm talking to him about the that trash compactor position, the Queso Gatami. Telling me to pull up on the top of my neck and keep my shoulders pinned on the mat. Having him redo it real quick. This is a long round. I think we started at the end of another round. So see, I'm on my side here. You can't finish me here. I'm going to take your back. So I'm saying you got to flatten me out is the first step. There he goes, starting to flatten me out. And then grip closer to the crown top of my head. There it is. Now it compresses my lungs. There it goes. He's leaning his center of his back on my solar plex, crown the head, lean back a little bit, not too far, not to get rolled. But it's a very difficult position to get quite right, but once you get it, and especially if you're a bigger gentleman or gal, that sucks. I believe Dean Lister lost to Josh Barnett at one of the Metamorphoses from that position. Dean hadn't tapped in like, I don't know, some crazy number like 17 years. And then he lost to that trash compactor position, so it's pretty strong. Just be careful not to crank on the neck too much so that people call it a neck crank. Here in half guard, he gathers my neck. Because he gathered the neck, see I do this little gator roll to my back again, and then I just frame him over the top and free myself. They grab the neck, so I try to get my shoulders to the mat, and then just frame him. He tried to body lock, but he didn't pull my hips in, so I just kicked away. There he goes. Now he body locked and pulled my hips in a little bit. I tell him not to extend on that body lock pass. I tell him to sprawl back to free that leg. It's a little better. I'm trying to go elbow to his neck here preemptively, so if he finishes this pass, my elbow is already preset to escape side control. I end up getting out, going for a triangle. Fails. Now we're here in close guard. Didn't quite get up onto my side of my hip enough to attack properly on that outside arm. The timer went off and I said just keep rolling. We started in the middle of a round. Or actually that was an arm crush on the far side. He tapped early and I let it go early. Trying to be safe. Inversion here, he slipped while he was passing. Pushed my legs to the side. Caught him in half guard. Trying to get the lockdown set up. There's a lockdown, trying to do the little pimp hand on the knee now. And I should have just bridged to the right and then bridged to the left here. But I was just being lazy laying on my back, and I just taught this half guard pass recently and he's crushing with it. He's got that underhook and that crossface on that far side. So he ends up pummeling. I believe getting this pass. Yep, there it is. He got a butterfly grip, otherwise known as a wrist-to-wrist grip, on a crossface and underhook, and he has it under my shoulder. And he was just driving forward, so crazy good pressure. And here he hits the straight arm lock that I've showed where you throw your chest into it. He gets me. Very, very good. Textbook side control. Textbook half guard pass. Hook the arm. Throw your chest into the grip and finish it. Straight arm bar. Again, he's doing good managing distance here, making sure I don't get underhooks. Trying to control his wrist. I end up getting up on my side a little early here, so I end up butterfly sweeping him over to the side, into mount. Throw my leg under his shoulder. Picked him up on his side, leg under the shoulder. Straight arm bar myself. Had to get him back for it. Mine was a little more of an arm crush. Again, here in butterfly guard. Reverse De La Riva, half guard. Elbow to the neck. Presetting that frame. was slow with it, so he goes north-south. And that comes to the end of our rolls. I think here I go over the trash compactor one more time with him. I'm in Casa. He's on his side. What I'm going to do is flatten him out and crown the head, and he tapped immediately. I flattened him out, so I throw my lat and my ribs into his solar plex, and then I hook the top of his head, not the base of the neck. He's strong at the base of the neck. The top of the head, end of the lever. I'm showing that right now. Top of the head pulls down, end of that lever. I believe I go over the head and arm choke for like a second too. I'm like, same principle. Head and arm choke from mount. He tucks his chin. I crown the top of the head towards me. Opens the neck. And now I sit on the choke. It's just the crowning the head principle. Alright guys. This was a long 45-minute sparring video. If you guys have any tips, suggestions, requests, whatever it may be, let me know. Let's get it.